Hello and welcome, Joshua, and hello and welcome, bug catchers, to Experience Share.
Greetings.
It's a Pokemon podcast wherein I, Stanky. Wait,
Stanky.
that nickname sucks.
Like, Stunky? What is it?
Stunky. I didn't put together that. It didn't occur to me until just now
Stanky.
that I gave myself the nickname Stanky. Stunky. And
You are Stanky.
AKA
Ew.
Tanner Greenring. And my co-host, Fielos.
Shellos?
Yeah, AKA Joshua Fjellstead. Play through every single Pokemon game. Gym by gym, week by week. We are in Season 4 at long last.
Yes.
And we are playing through the Sinnoh region. It's Pokemon Platinum. Yeah, we went ahead and skipped Diamond and Pearl this gen. If you want to play Diamond and Pearl, that's fine.
It's your prerogative.
Just know that you were playing an inferior game.
That's right.
We are playing the Jesus of Pokemon games, Pokemon Platinum.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's where we landed with that metaphor.
That's where we all agreed.
Yeah.
Very religious season. A lot of allegory.
Although Giratina is Satan, and Satan is on the box art.
Yeah, we've embraced Satan.
So it's a little confusing.
We've embraced Satan.
All right. We are into it. Okay.
Yep.
Just want to clarify.
Joshua and I have embraced Satan, but I suspect all of you knew that, what with all the fur affinity checks we've been doing for the last 4 seasons.
Boy, as much as I've tried to kill it, I'm going to embrace it.
With
the theme of the season.
You told me earlier tonight that you commissioned Matt Schultz to do a fur affinity theme song.
Yeah, and I was going to announce this if and when it is triggered, that I just have decided, with the spirit of this season, we're embracing Satan. I'm going to embrace for affinity check. I can't get rid of it.
It's a horny season.
Enshrine it. Let's enshrine it. And it's going to be a real thing. And our composer, Matt Schultz, has created a beautiful track to embody it.
We're embracing Vice this season.
I will say, Sinnoh so far, I would not want to be in your position with having the barfs, because this is a pretty attractive region.
Oh,
Pokemon-wise.
Strongly disagree. I had a hard time choosing between 2 different barf Pokemon this week.
There was really only 1, maybe 2, that I was like pretty disgusted by, and I'm curious.
One of them is extremely obvious.
I think one of them is on your team, actually.
What do you mean?
Now that I'm looking at this doc.
I'm looking through my doc. The only one I can think of is Machop.
I mean, is this a spoiler if I say who I actually thought might have been You Make Me Barf that's on your team?
Yeah, tell me.
Badoo?
Badoo's fine.
What?
I got no issue with Badoo. What's your problem with Badoo?
It looks like it's wearing part of its dead body on itself, and it's got like...
What do you mean?
Empty sockets.
You don't know what you're talking about. God, you're so ignorant sometimes. Badoo's fine. Those are its hands, dummy.
I think the sprite's bad. The anime version is cute.
Those are its hands.
It's twisting its hands up, and they're not like...
That's why it's a humanoid form.
Dead eyes.
Yeah, those are like fingers.
Interesting.
He's wearing gloves.
That's how it gets away with being humanoid. That was going to be my second question. It's obviously a bud. It's in the name. It's a plant, and it's got 2 little stubby appendages, and those are its feet. So that's bipedal.
Human. It's a human. Yep.
Okay.
And we know what it evolves into. Some of the horniest Pokemon there are.
Oh yeah, it goes into Rosalia and Roserade. Roserade.
Yeah.
Roserade looks like Robin.
Yes, Roserade does look like a Robin. Should we just do level check now? Just knock it out of the... We're already talking about all our Pokemon.
We're switching things up this season.
Fuck it.
Let's just do it.
Top of the episode level check.
Honestly, most of my team hasn't even changed, so...
I have 1 new teammate.
Who do you got?
My character's called Steve Human. He's just a dude, and he doesn't have any Pokemon. He just has buds who's picked up on his epic road trip across Sinnoh.
Right.
And by buds, I mean humans. And by humans, I mean humanoid Pokemon. And by humanoid Pokemon, I mean the Bulbapedia definition of humanoid Pokemon, which is...
Pretty lax standards over there.
Bulbapedia. Tailless...
It's no Jimmy Wales kind of an operation.
What is it?
I mean?
It's bipedal tailless form Pokemon.
Yeah.
So just my buds.
And, whether they have scales or multiple arms or...
Some people have scales. Quit being so normative,
vines.
Josh.
That's all fine, as long as they have 2 legs and no tail.
Yep.
Okay.
So we've got Ms. Dunn.
Abra.
You know her. You love her.
Yeah.
Kadabra.
I do love her.
Level 19.
She made it.
Kadabra
with that big abdomen's pretty confusing, but...
Some people have big abdomens, Josh. I got kind of a big abdomen.
That sticks out of your butt?
My butt sticks out a little bit.
Like a reverse abdomen.
Dragging a wagon back there, yeah. Mr. Schilling, Graveler. Evolved that one too. Level 25. Can I tell you why I evolved Graveler?
Level 25 is so outrageous.
I know.
Already.
Well, I had to get it to Graveler, and I'll tell you why.
This is what I'm talking about, bug catchers, with the random battles.
I'll tell you why I had to evolve it to Graveler, Josh. Because I didn't have any good Pokemon headed into the gym this week in
but why
Eterna
would you
City.
Evolve a rock ground type against a grass gym?
I'll tell you why. Because of a little segment called Matchup Mayhem. It's a segment called Matchup Mayhem, which is Tanner is bad at knowing Pokemon types. And what I assumed, I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought surely rock type must be good against grass.
God, no. That's one of the most...
A rock could smush
that's the most obvious one.
A rock could smush a grass.
No, plants subsume rocks. Think about moss. Think about the roots
I evolved
of trees.
Geodude, Mr. Schilling, Geodude, into Graveler, which happens at level 25. So I ground it out. I was like, okay, let's get this thing to level 25. And then I go into the gym at the end of this episode, and the fucking Roserade one hit.
Yeah, of course.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Schilling, Graveler, level 25. Mr. Overhill, Machop, level 20.
All right.
Mr. Hilliard, Piplup, level 15, abandoning that friend. He is too randy. He's too randy. He can't hang.
He can't control himself.
Yeah, and we're just going to leave him on the roadside.
Wow.
As soon as I am able to catch a Pokemon that fits on my team, Mr. Hilliard's gone. Mr. Morel, Kricketot, level 22.
Jesus.
Not excited about Kricketot either, but I needed it.
How'd you even get it to level 22? I got a Kricketune. It can barely live.
In the gym, mostly.
But doesn't it only have fucking, what is it?
Bug Bite.
Bug Bite? Bug Bite?
It's got 3 moves. Growl, Bide, and Bug Bite.
Bug Bite's not even good.
And then I've got Ms. Applebaum, my new character, my new friend, who's Budew, level 22.
I sort of regret my statement about Budew earlier. Now that I've seen the illustrations, I like it. I just do not like the sprite in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. It looks... The arms, once you explain that it's the arms, it made sense, but it looks like it's desiccated eyes on the sprite.
I'll tell you a little bit about Breeder's team.
Brie Van Der... She had a couple of exciting developments this week. New Pokemon that she has acquired for her menagerie, but mostly just really grooming some exceptional talent in her team. And Brie Van Der is...
I would like to groom some of her exceptional talent.
I think one of them in particular. Brie Van Der is aspiring to be she wants to be the very best Pokemon breeder, like no one ever was.
Yep.
Leading the pack is Simba, who is now a Luxio.
Luxio!
Thank God we have that. And that's a Night at the Roxbury reference for those of you who are tuning in for the first time to this season.
Who was it last season that we did it all?
Celio. Yes. And that's in reference to when Steve and Doug Butabi are telling the story when they met
Emilio Estevez.
And they were like, Emilio!
Yeah. Just watch the movie. It's a prereq for this podcast. You have to watch Night at the Roxbury before
part of the literature.
You can listen to this podcast.
And it's 80 minutes. Who cares?
You'll breeze through it.
Simba Luxio level 20. That's an evolution.
I recognize that, and I think Luxio is a handsome Pokemon, and I'm jealous that you get this handsome Pokemon on your team. Does it have a third one? Luxray.
Yeah, Luxray.
Right?
Level 30 is going to be a bit...
What a good line. Jesus, what a good line.
It's really fetching.
Into it.
Good stats, too. Fearsome.
And electric, which you always like own me with electric.
Electric or psychic, but electric's probably my favorite.
It's your type. If Pokemon were real life, you would be an electric trainer.
They are hard hitting and they just fucking get the job done.
Yeah.
And they usually look fucking cool as hell too.
Yeah.
Simba theoretically is going to make it until the end. I'll announce that now. Silver, Staravia, level 23.
Got her up too.
Yeah.
Handsome.
Staravia's got the like alfalfa hair.
As I stated last week,
for feathers.
I think Staravia is fine, but I'm really waiting for Staraptor.
Listen, buddy, we are.
Hey, call me when it's Staraptor.
Not for 11 more levels. Jiminy, Cricketune still here, level 15.
Okay, giving up.
Yeah, Cricketune, great. I wish I had covered this. I think we got sidetracked by Shinx, which how could you not? Cricketune battle cry is just lovely.
Is it? I obviously haven't heard it.
Oh, pull it up right now.
Okay.
It's a little chaotic. I mean, because it's like a cricket, but then it closes with like a beautiful, like symphonic, like whoop.
The top video result is I put Cricketoon's battle cry on loop.
Great.
Bitty 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 bitty. Whoop. Bitty 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 bitty. Whoop. Bitty 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 bitty. Whoop. That's what it's doing.
It's really good.
It is pretty good.
And I saw a tweet earlier on Sinnoh Shitpost, at Sinnoh Shitpost. Mm-hmm. Great Twitter account that I'm sure we'll be referencing all the time.
Yeah.
And the caption is, if your dick made a sound every time you got hard, what would you want the sound to be? And then it's that.
Yeah.
And I think that's right.
I would want it to be Pidgey. I think it was Pidgey. I think I would want it to be Pidgey's scream.
Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto's scream from the anime. Yeah, I'm looking at Sinnoh Shitpost. I'm excited to follow this.
It's a really good account.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Scrooge. Scrooge McPsyduck, level 20.
Mm-hmm. Still curious to hear your justification on Psyduck being an exotic pet.
Psyduck is not what my clients will be acquiring, but I am raising it and grooming it into a Golduck, and that is what they want for its precious gem and what they do.
So you
with the
didn't
precious
use
gem,
the Psyduck in a battle this week?
I'm not abiding by that rule.
Okay.
Brie Vandur does not do that rule because she raises her Pokemon so that they are ready for whatever
battle ready
their interested buyers will do with them, which includes battling.
I don't know if you want a Golduck battle ready because you don't want it to put up a fight when you come to claim its little gem.
Yeah, but in order to get the gem, you need it. And again, Brie does not know, nor does she ask because it would be uncouth. Yeah. What happens to the Pokemon after she sells them?
She's just following orders.
We're all slaves to the almighty Poké-Dollar.
She's an anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we know Brie's politics, anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah.
Steve, human, middle-of-the-road centrist.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. No strong opinions about much of anything, you know?
He's just trying to have a beer and, like, kick back and talk about the what's happening at the game corner.
He votes, but, like, he doesn't research anything. He just kind of goes along with whatever seems like everyone else is doing.
Right.
So, it's our character's politics.
Yeah.
You got two more guys, yeah?
Yep. Bonzo is now a Monferno.
Cool.
Level 22.
Fire baboon.
Yeah, it's got Flame Wheel now, which has been pretty fun. Torched Gardenia's gym.
I'm sure.
I mean, it was a joke. And I would say, like, we're not drastically out of sync with each other, but the reason that I don't have higher level Pokemon is that it was just a joke. Like, Monferno, it was a one-hit KO for everyone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In that gym, and then I was like, oh, I don't care.
I'll tell you this. We're going to talk about the gym a little bit later, but I got down to, like, 4 hit points on my last Pokemon.
I imagine. I had a battle like that, which we will also talk about, unexpectedly. And then, all right, here we go. The last and new member of Brie Van Deur's menagerie is Lola Bunnery, level 19.
Do we want to talk about this now?
I think it's unavoidable, and Lola Bunny is the sexy rabbit in Space Jam.
I'm curious why you've decided to invoke one of the horniest, sexiest animated characters there is, Lola Bunny, for what will inevitably be what is, I've discovered this week, one of the horniest and sexiest Pokemon I've ever seen. And it's a segment called For Affinity Check.
Here's the music. It's got its own theme now. Thanks, Matt Schultz. Look at what you've done.
So, Steve Human is only interested in hanging with other humans. So when I encounter a wild Pokemon while I'm playing the game, Josh...
If it's not already your buddy, you mean?
Yeah, I need to scramble to Bulbapedia to see if the Pokemon, or any of its evolutionary line, qualifies as human.
Right.
So while I was wandering through Eterna Forest this week, I encountered a Pokemon called Bunnery, which is this ugly little bunny.
It's like just very obviously a bunny, and listen to its name.
It's just humanoid enough that I was like, "What's happening here? Can I catch a Bunnery? What does it evolve into?"
It's got 2 legs.
Yeah. And
see
then
humans into anything with 2 legs.
Went to Bulbapedia, looked up Bunnery, not humanoid. It's animal.
God,
it's got the little lizard icon.
Fucking fascinating.
And then I saw that it had an evolution called Lopunny.
Mm-hmm.
Clicked on that link.
Wow.
And had to excuse myself.
And
I'll be in my bunk, as they say.
Sorry to new listeners that we're invoking this in the second episode, but For Affinity Check is a segment that I don't love, but I'm steering into it at this point. We're 4 seasons into this damn thing.
Yeah.
For Affinity Check is where we talk about, we're a sex positive podcast.
Yeah.
We talk about what other Pokemon fans happen to think about a Pokemon that potentially looks sexually provocative.
And us. Don't put this on them. Don't you dare put this on the Pokemon fans.
Not by Lopunny, but I've been there.
Yeah. I Googled Lopunny, and so we're also kind of bucking the trend already with the new segment and with fancy new segment music, because there's no need to go to For Affinity for Lopunny.
Oh, no.
Because if you just Google
good old-fashioned Google
Lopunny Pokemon,
wow,
they are ready to give you some of the horniest images.
I see it spiraling on the 4th image.
I've got one in the top row.
Oh, yeah, top row. 4th image in the top row.
Know Your Meme link,
fainted,
where Lopunny is just, and her butt is all out, and she wants you to see it.
Yeah, we're looking at the same thing. Yeah,
Lopunny is
like it looks like what a cheerleader as a Pokemon would look like, a female cheerleader. This is
the whole point of For Affinity Check, and it always has been, and I will remind you of this, bug catchers. It's not me or Josh or Josh who are horny about these Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Pokemon is an inherently sexual game.
Yeah.
They made this. Look at how sexy this Pokemon is.
It's got pom-poms and like long legs, thick thighs. Come on. They knew what they were doing.
Baiting us. And imagine you're a 13-year-old boy.
Or girl.
And you see this thing.
Or non-binary.
Hachi, or non-binary and attracted to, sexual bunnies.
Oh, furry. I mean, you could just be you're figuring out that maybe you have a little bit of attraction toward this, and that's fine.
I swear to God, Josh, if I had seen Lopunny when I was 13, I don't know where I'd be at right now in my life.
You'd be a totally different person. We wouldn't be recording this right now.
We couldn't.
I mean,
legally.
Maybe I would be recording this podcast with someone else, but we would be looking at your art on For Affinity.
Yeah.
As For Affinity admin, Tanner.
I would have, and I'd probably be fucking rich, because I think a lot of furry artists are loaded.
And every time I see these images, I'm like, everybody needs an artistic outlet.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do they have time for this? And then I'm like, well, I sink fucking Lord knows how many hours a week into playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Why not illustrate Pokemon in interesting positions?
I'm going to be very interested, Joshua, in tracking the progress of your Bunnery Lola Bunny this season. I have a vested interest.
I wouldn't have even had it in my team if I didn't have a better option. This was the best option from this leg in terms of Pokemon that Brevander can and is interested in collecting.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it'll make it, but honestly, it was fine. I mean, it's a normal type. It's got decent stats. But Lopunny is also a friendship evolution.
Yeah, that's tricky. It's just normal monotype?
Yeah, it's just normal.
That's not great.
It gets some fighting moves, and Mega Lopunny, which we don't have, unfortunately, in this gen, is normal fighting.
Yeah.
But it's straight up normal. I don't love normal.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Especially because I already have Staravia, which is normal flying, and if any normal anything is going to make it, it's going to be Staraptor, ultimately.
Right.
Based on my experience so far.
Well, I hope you at least get it to Lopunny.
I'm going to try to do it just for you.
Thank you.
And Brevander is looking for clients. If you want to take that Lopunny off my hands.
Interesting thought. I'll have to talk to the missus.
Oh, Steve Human is taken.
Yeah, married.
Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay.
He's sort of like a middle-aged dad, kind of midlife crisis.
Will we be meeting Mrs. Steve Human?
She's back at home taking care of the kids.
Okay, so it's very gendered over there in the Human household.
She sort of gave him a hall pass and was like, go and sow your wild oats. So he's just picking up his buddies, going on an epic road trip across.
Traditional human household over there.
That's pretty normative of you to say.
The human.
What does traditional even mean?
Capital H, the human household.
Yeah. All right, Joshua, that's our
check and level check.
That's that's everything. What else we do in there? We did another one too. What was it? Matchup Mayhem.
Oh yeah.
It was 3 segments in one.
Wow. And we might even have the Matchup Mayhem music in time.
Could do.
For this episode.
We definitely should have it because I'm still bad at Pokemon.
Oh, I commissioned it.
Despite everything.
With that foresight. I was like, I think Tanner's going to continue having problems with the types, so I'm gonna just commission this, and it's based on the Dragon's Den and Power Plant music, which is very insane, chaotic. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Joshua, we should probably talk about our journey this week.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it.
We started in Orboro.
Yeah.
And then we made our way back to Jubilife City.
Yeah, you have no choice but to head back.
And I would love to hear about your journey back to Jubilife City.
Uh-huh. And
after this break.
Yeah.
Welcome back, bug catchers. Welcome back, Joshua. It's Experience Share Pokemon Podcast, and we have just returned from break.
We're back.
I had to go to my bunk, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Got a little too randy.
I went upstairs to go to the bathroom and grab another wine.
Oh, wowing.
And Jamie was sitting on the couch. And she said, I heard you talking about sexy Pokemon. And I said, yeah, Google Lopunny. And she did. And she was like, why does it have a belly button?
Great question.
I kept saying Hachi Machi over and over again. And she seemed to get upset and jealous. So I had to come back down here. I think Lopunny is threatening our marriage.
And it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time.
Yeah. We are on our journey. We started our journey in Orboro, as I said, and we make our way back to Jubilife City because now we have access to HM.
And we're calling it Orboro as a joke. I do want to make sure that it's clear. I was saying that because Edinburgh is spelled Burgh.
Yes, we get it, Joshua. You're an Anglophile. You love everything about the British Isles.
It's commenting on how everyone talks about how we don't know how to pronounce everything. It's like, how could you know? How could you know?
So we make our way back from Orboro to Jubilife City because now we have Rock Smash, the HM. Well, we've always had it, but now we can use it outside of battle.
Right.
So we can make our way north from Jubilife along the Ravaged path. So we have to find our way back to Jubilife. And I'll remind you, Jubilife is the propaganda center of Sinnoh. It's where the clowns tempted us with their riddles.
It's where Poketch is.
It's where Poketch. You want to talk about Poketch real quick?
Yeah, I think we should.
Did you pick up the new app?
I did. I picked up a couple of apps.
What the fuck? And they picked up Notepad.
Did you not get Friendship Checker?
No, what?
Oh my god.
Where's Friendship Checker?
Friendship Checker, as far as I'm concerned, lifted Pokeetch's stock significantly.
Oh, that's how I feel about Notepad.
Yeah.
Because I can use it to menace you.
Yeah, I did not really care for the Drawsome app that it has, which I learned about because Tanner sent me a very inappropriate message using it.
What did it say?
Josh is a fart.
Got him.
Just sent me a text out of nowhere with that on the Pokeetch technology. So it's yet another platform being used for hate.
We should deplatform Steve Human.
Yeah, Steve Human needs to be deplatformed. Yeah.
No, we know he's a middle of the road centrist. He would never rock the boat.
Yeah, but that always means he could take a turn in the wrong direction at any moment.
Prime to be radicalized.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs like a pillow salesman to say the right things, and he is off to the races.
So that's gonna be a subplot, I guess, in season 4. We're gonna have to make sure that Steve Human doesn't get radicalized.
I'll also say this: it's the night before inauguration that we're recording this. These jokes might not be as fun.
We're gonna cut this whole
24
section
hours from now,
depending on how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah, you get this draw app.
I got the draw app, and I'm loving it. Although it resets every time you restart your
And
game.
how do they not call it the Poke Sketch, by the way? It's Pokeetch Company Poke Sketch.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
That's a demerit.
Or the ad wizards behind this one.
Need some marketing support over there,
yeah.
Pokeetch.
But you got another new app.
Yeah, you get Friendship Checker. Again, this is because you don't talk to people. Some woman gives it to you in the Pokemon Center in Eterna City.
Oh. Yeah, I don't talk to people in the Pokemon Center. Certainly not. Because they're useless. 99% of the time, they don't have anything to offer you.
Friendship Checker is the best app so far from Pokeetch Company as far as I'm concerned.
Describe its functionality to me.
It allows you to tell how much friendship your Pokemon have developed with you.
That's so useful. God, I'm really looking forward to going and grabbing that app.
Like a brilliant invention, actually, for any of these friendship evolutions.
Oh, wait, is it friendship or happiness?
They're the same thing, effectively.
Until now, that has been a mechanic, but it's impenetrable. It's opaque. You can't tell where the happiness level is of your Pokemon. Except, like, every now and then there's, like, some NPC in some city that's, like, will tell you. But, like, in obscure terms. They'll be like, your Pokemon is somewhat happy. He won't, like, give you a number. Does this give you a number?
No, it still doesn't do that. It gives you hearts, sizes of hearts, but you can Google it. One big heart and one smaller heart, this equals range 150 to 200 happiness or friendship.
Yeah.
So Pokeetch got an upgrade from me this week. It's still in 3rd, but I'm liking what I'm seeing, and this is early in the journey. So we've got 6 apps now, I think.
Yeah.
Once you get the friendship checker.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So Jubilife, the only other thing is that you encounter Team Galactic for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're ganging up on Professor Rowan because Rowan and Lucas have a theory that when Pokemon evolve, they release energy.
Okay.
And Team Galactic
I said
wants
yeah
all
a couple
this fucking
times, but it
energy.
turns out I have no idea what you're talking about. This happened this leg?
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Well, you gotta slow down the A slamming every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're
I feel like I would have remembered a cutscene.
Well, anyway, they want to know the secrets behind this theory because Team Galactic is hellbent on getting as much energy as possible, and then you have to dispense with a couple of those grunts along with Lucas or Dawn. You team up with
yes.
You have a double battle.
Yes.
Double battles are the theme of this whole leg.
I didn't remember the context for it. Yeah, there's a whole double battle thing happening this leg. But there's another thing that happens in Jubilife City too, which is the introduction of what I assume is beauty contests.
Oh yeah, the contest equivalent. Yeah.
Because like you go into the Jubilife TV studio, walk around a little bit, you get to like the 3rd floor, and some guy's like, oh, hey, did you know that you can do like fashion shows with your Pokemon? And he gives you a mask, like Majora's Mask, that I suspect matches your starter Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because I got Piplup.
Yeah, I got Chimchar.
Can I say this? Absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to do with this.
Yeah.
I opened it up and I was like, oh, cool, Piplup mask. I'm going to wear that. And it was like Professor Rowan reminds you, there's a time and place for everything, trainer. And it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this thing?
Yeah, the Jubilife TV crew, like, they give you this fashion case, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Including the mask, and you can go into Jubilife TV to, like, I went in there to try to figure it out. And I'll also say, I didn't say this, but I have not played this gen all the way through. It came out when I was in college, and I didn't play any Pokemon during that.
Cool, like doing drugs and having casual sex.
Drinking Four Locos, and I was still playing Civilization. I just didn't play Pokemon. Civilization 4. So yeah. I'm not familiar with this mechanic. I don't love contests, but you can't do the like costume contest or whatever yet.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything, so I just abandoned it. And you know what? To be honest, I'll probably never go back.
I'm gonna try. It's up Brevandur's alley.
So we made our way through Jubilife City, and we make our way north now that we have Rock Smash through the Ravaged Path.
Yeah,
which is this cave. It's just a cave.
Yeah, a couple of trainers.
You pop out on the other side, and you are greeted with rolling bucolic hills covered in beautiful flowers.
Oh, my God.
Talk about tulip mania.
The Floaromans certainly went through a phase like tulip mania.
You've given them a name.
Yeah.
What'd you call them?
Floaromans.
It'd probably be Flooromians, because it's like Floridians.
But it's got Roma there, too, and that could just be Roman. That's why it's confusing.
The Flooromans. Yeah, it's confusing.
In any case, they use these flowers as currency, and they're all addicted to honey. I think that's clear.
Well, so first of all, this is a beautiful area. It's all flowers. It's all very handsome.
And they sway in the breeze.
Yep.
Festive music. Very chill.
Good use of the DS tech here. Really feel the extra bits that you got here.
Yeah.
Everyone here is into flowers. Everyone here is into their special honey. Have you read that Junji Ito comic?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Junji Ito is?
No, I have absolutely no idea what's happening.
He's a horror manga artist. He does horror mangas.
Okay.
Some of his images are so like iconic that they've kind of percolated up to pop culture. There's one with a woman who has like a big spiral on her head and like her eyes are sinking into her head.
Okay.
Anyway, he did a comic about honey that's so delicious that it compels you to eat it, but when you eat it, your head explodes.
That's definitely what's happening here.
So, and that's kind of what everyone here in Floaroma is like. Is they want to eat this.
Floaroma.
They want to eat this honey so bad, and they want you to have the honey, and they give you an unlimited supply of honey that you can slather on honey trees
to collect bugs.
I like it. I love a closed loop.
Okay.
You know?
You like having this little thing you can come check up on in 12 hours or whatever?
And here's what I wrote in our notes. Yes, King forced me to come and check in on the game every 24 hours. It's like 10 years before the iOS mechanics figured it out, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, here's a reason you have
Candy
to come.
Candy Crush precursor.
And you can't even game the clock. I looked it up. You can't game the clock. It doesn't matter if you change the clock on your DS. It still won't work. It's a timer. So the thing is, they give you honey, and you have to slather it on these yellow trees that you'll encounter every now and then. And when you do that, between 6 and 24 hours later, the tree will shake, and you can go and approach it and knock a Pokemon out of it and battle it and catch it.
Yeah.
And they're rare Pokemon, or have the potential to be rare Pokemon.
Right.
So you have to come back within 24 hours every time if you want to like get your rare Pokemon, which I do because Munchlax is in one of these trees.
Oh,
my friend.
Yeah, your pal Munchlax.
My buddy Munchlax is in one of these trees on Route 204.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I got to get one of these things, right? So I got to check in later tonight.
Brevander had some traps set there. They start off ugly, but they get quite exceptional. The bugs.
It's such a cheap but such an effective mechanic, and I love a timer-based mechanic.
Yeah.
I love it. Bring me back, baby. Bring me back. I'm like a 23-year-old woman on Instagram. Take me back. Hashtag take me back. Posting like photos from her Spain vacation that she went on like 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Take me back.
And it's just Steve Human, a backdrop of a honey tree in Floaroma town.
That's me. So yeah, that's the new mechanic. It's interesting. I like it. And then you go into the flower shop here, and they give you a couple berries and they give you a
spray duck pail.
Right. The path onward is blocked by a couple of Team Galactic grunts.
Yeah.
So you have to make your way east.
Some girl in the town tells you that they kidnapped her papa.
Yep.
And that he's at the Valley Windworks, which these grunts confirm.
Yep. So you make your way to the Windworks.
Yeah.
Which is like a wind power facility. There's a bunch of big
wind turbines. It's cool.
It is cool. The overworld is pretty interesting. They have like 3D graphics for the first time, like polygons.
Yeah, it's like really coming to life in this gen.
And there's these big wind towers here that are kind of like towering above the screen. I bet if it was in 3D, it would look pretty cool too.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why one of the reasons everyone wants a Sinnoh remake, which I saw today is theoretically actually going to happen this year.
We're due. How long has it been since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire?
I played that. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago.
We're due for a remake.
It's the next one. It's time.
You know what? They probably make it on those Switch, right?
Yeah,
they wouldn't do
because I've been
remake on 3DS.
Because I've been researching the DS situation, and I do think I'm just going to go with the straight up original DS as well. But Nintendo doesn't even sell them anymore. If you want to buy any DS, you have to buy them from like Amazon, Walmart, eBay. Like Switch is it.
Yeah, it's going to be Switch.
It's convergence.
Windworks is cool. It's a cool facility. You bust in.
Yeah.
And then you fight a bunch of goons.
It's pretty straightforward.
The king boss of Windworks is
Commander Mars.
Commander Mars. Yeah. And she's got a Pokemon that I hated.
I hated a Pokemon that she had as well.
The Pokemon I hated is my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
Okay.
It's called Purr Ugly, and I'm a little worried it's too obvious because they put ugly right in its name, but
yeah,
Purr Ugly is an ugly Pokemon. Like right on the tin. Does what it says on the tin.
I don't think it's cute. I did debate it a little bit, and then I came to the conclusion, like, yeah, it's not that cute, but I don't think it's barf.
They've made it ugly. And I know...
It's like fucking buff and like tough and a fucking brawler.
It's not buff. It's not buff. It's like...
Stout?
Stout. And you love a stout cat.
I do have a couple of stout cats. One in particular, POTUS. Is,
one more than
boy.
the other.
Well, he's big boned.
I would call Winnie, your cat Winston, robust, like powerful.
Wow.
You know? He carries it well. POTUS is big.
Yeah, I mean, he's big, and also, I mean, he's just literally like 3 feet long. Like, he's giant.
Both your cats are giant. Both your cats are enormous. But like POTUS is
he also like
Jabba the Hutt.
Like he just like fucking saunters.
I would say plods.
Yeah.
So Purr Ugly Pokemon.
So I guess that's why I hated Purr Ugly because I had actually a lot of fucking trouble fighting this thing. But I think its aesthetics are cool.
I get no, I disagree. I think it's ugly. I think they intentionally made a very ugly Pokemon and then called it Purr Ugly because they wanted you to know that it's ugly.
It's ugly. Purr.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Very ugly.
That thing got me down to literally only my Kricketune, who's, as you could tell, I'm not investing very much in. I was like, I think it's got one hit. I think I can make it. And Kricketune fired off one Rock Smash. I think the Purr Ugly is level 16. Kricketune must have been level 12 at that point.
Kricketune can learn Rock Smash?
Yeah, Kricketune is, because now that we have cut after Eterna Gym, and he can learn that too.
HM friend.
So Kricketune is becoming my HM friend.
I'll tell you who can't learn Rock Smash. Kricketot.
Oh, Kricketot. That sucks. He doesn't have the mandibles that are
I only
required.
have 3 moves on that thing. And I was like, I went into the gym, I was like, I should probably teach this thing a 4th move. And looked through all my HM and TMs, and it couldn't learn a single one of them.
Yeah, well, too bad you can't get a Kricketune, because it saved my ass here, and it's my HM friend. It leveled up almost 3 times. It got 666 EXP.
And we're embracing Satan this season.
Absolutely.
And just in case you're a bug catcher who's religious,
that's fine.
And us embracing Satan puts you off, we mean The Pokemon Satan.
Yeah, Giratina.
The big centipede.
We worship Giratina.
Not literal Satan.
Yeah.
So we save this lady's daddy.
Some middle manager named Sharon, who apparently in Diamond and Pearl is not introduced this early.
Oh, that's funny. Mars and Sharon.
Yeah, actually, that is pretty good. Sharon is a commander as well, so I guess that's their scheme because they're Team Galactic. Sharon is like, we've already collected enough electricity, so whatever. And then they just leave.
Now you got me fucked up, Josh, on Floaroma. Because Mars, Roman god. Charon, Roman god. Is that a thing? Is this a thing this season?
I guess it could be.
Or this game, rather?
They usually have some kind of loose theme, like in Ore, when things were named after rocks and minerals, but not all of them.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. It might be a Roman mythology game.
Yeah.
So then we make our way out of Floaroma Town up Route 205 to Eterna Forest, which is the Viridian Forest of this game. The second you enter Eterna Forest, some woman called Cheryl accosts you. And who is Cheryl? And why do I have to care about her?
I think we're never going to see her again after
She's
this.
nice. Oh, I assumed, like, they gave her a sprite and they gave her enough personality that I was like, is she the bad guy? Like, she's a fully fleshed out character. The second you enter Eterna Forest, this woman called Cheryl's like, hey, this place sucks. It's full of Team Galactic bad guys. Will you let me accompany you through the forest? I've got a Chansey. I'll keep your Pokemon healed.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Fucking sold.
I did it because there's no viable Pokemon I could catch in Eterna Forest, so I was like, whatever.
Brevender did it.
But what it does is it turns every battle you do into a double battle, including wild Pokemon encounters.
Right.
Which obviously makes things tricky for catching Pokemon.
You have to knock one of them out before you can catch the other one.
But then all the trainers in this area are also double Pokemon. If you walk into the line of a trainer, a second trainer will come out and like battle you as well. So there's a distinct advantage to taking on Cheryl as a teammate.
Rapid battles, plus you get free healing. It's a good deal.
I didn't get the point of it. Is it just to introduce you to the concept of double battles?
I think so. I mean, like I said, I don't know if Cheryl comes back. I have a feeling she doesn't. I think it's probably a mechanic to just teach you about double battles.
They gave her such a robust sprite. She looks like a gym leader. I just assume she has to come back.
Maybe she will.
But I have no idea. I made pretty quick work of Eterna Forest.
It's cool. I like the double battle thing.
Got in and out pretty quickly.
Because there's always a forest. Yep. At least they made it a little more interesting here.
And it's got like a cool overlay.
Yeah, you have like
it's shadowy.
Little like splotches of light that make it through the canopy of the trees, which is cool.
Right.
I liked it.
That's cool. They're using the engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you emerge at the top and you're on the north side or east side of Route 205, which is just west of Eterna City.
Yeah.
Not much to do here. There's some fishermen. There's a little plot of grass.
And that was where Brevender saw a Pokemon that really caught her eye, but she knew it was too precious to even capture for her menagerie.
Oh, okay.
And it's what's called... I guess that's confusing. It's Joshy's Sweetie. Whatever. It's Joshy's Sweetie.
It's Josh's Sweetie. Yep.
Buizel. Let's talk about Buizel.
Buizel! I loved Buizel.
How can you not like this thing?
I love Buizel, and I looked up its evolutionary line, which I had to because I needed to see if it was human.
Unfortunately, I wish one of us could have a Floatzel.
So cute. It's like a little otter that's got like a swim device on.
Yeah.
What do you call that? A flotation device.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Yeah. It's like a little otter with like two tails and like some cool blue fins.
It's like Tails.
God.
It's from Sonic.
It is like Tails, and maybe that's why I like it too.
That's who I named my son after.
Oh yeah, I assumed.
Miles Tails per hour.
I assumed.
Oh, you knew Tails' full name.
Hey, we both spent a fair amount of time on Tumblr back in the day. I know a lot more about Tails than I care to know or share.
Talking about for affinity checks.
Jesus Christ.
So then we make our way into Eterna City, which is right here.
Yeah.
You may notice as you're making your way through this section, bug catchers, that there's a lot of trees, little trees that can be cut down, including all over Eterna City. A lot of the buildings in Eterna City are blocked off.
Yeah, shrubs.
So there's not much we can do because even though we do acquire HM01 cut in this section. We can't use it out of battle.
You just get it from wandering around in the north part of town by the Eterna condominiums from this woman named Cynthia.
Another enigmatic character like Cheryl.
She's coming back. I know she's a thing.
Who are these two?
She gives you cut out of the kindness of her heart.
But there's not much we can do with it because we can't use it out of battle. So Eterna building, which is where we discover that Team Galactic is holed up, is inaccessible to us right now. Also, inside of that building is the guy, Rad Rickshaw, who's the cycle shop owner. So we can't rescue him yet. So we can't get a bike. But there is some stuff to do around here. There's apparently this Pokemon Center where you can get the friendship checker, which you got and I didn't.
Yep.
And then if you spend any time in the city at all, eventually Bad Josh
bumps into you
AKA
again. Ray Perduce
will thud into you.
Like he fucking always does.
And then before you can say anything, he'll say, hey, did you know there's a statue in the city? Let's go look at the statue right now. And he'll drag you along.
Yeah, to
look at the statue.
Ancient statue. And while we're there, here's a new segment that we're enshrining.
Oh, boy.
We'll workshop the name. Is it going to just be Joshy's Facty? Joshy's Fun Facty? I want you to be able to use it, too.
I love Joshy's Fun Facty, and I'm willing to call it Joshy's Fun Facty even when it's my Fun Facty.
What an honor.
That's how much I like it.
Thank you. And it's Joshy's Fun Facty. And it's got music now. Thanks again, Matt Schiltz. Let's talk about this statue. Apparently, in Diamond and Pearl, the statue has a plate.
Keep in mind, I have no idea what this... It's a Pokemon, but there's no plate on it. No plaque. So I have no idea what Pokemon it is.
The statue in Platinum is Palkia?
Well, I don't know what Dialga looks like. No, it's definitely Palkia.
Oh, why then just make it Giratina? They didn't want everyone worshipping Satan.
Yeah, make it Giratina. So. Oh, worship, yeah. It's like all those statues in Morrowind for the Daedra.
Yeah. There's a man nearby who says that he's like, I think there was a plaque here, but for a third Pokemon, but I don't know where it went. And like, it's implied that Giratina used to be honored here as well.
Yeah.
Satan.
In Platinum, there's a house you can go to that has two old people in it, and the old people are like, oh, God, let me see if I can remember what the plaque said. And they can't quite. Their memory is spotty, but they'll be like, I seem to remember it was something about Dia and Gila, and like they know the first three letters of all of these demigod Pokemon.
So the plaque in Diamond says, the creation of Dialga, the giver of time. In laughter there is tears, and likewise it is with time. The same time flows on, for it is the blessing of Dialga. Okay, so Dialga is the giver of time.
Okay.
And then in Pearl...
Can I catch a Dialga? I would like to.
I think cool. We'll have the opportunity for all three of them in Platinum.
Is he humanoid?
No.
Okay.
Palkia, maybe. That one's bipedal. Dialga is four-footed.
Oh, does it have a tail?
Shouldn't you already know? Oh, they both have they all have tails.
Fuck.
No way. And then Palkia's plate said, the birth of Palkia, the creator of parallel dimensions. Alive, yet not alive. Everything drifts in space to arrive in the same universe. It is the blessing of Palkia.
Okay.
We don't know what all that means yet.
That's a Joshy's Fun Fact.
That's a little history about Sinnoh.
Cut and print.
Ship it.
Yeah.
That's a fun facty. It's a facty. That one's not that fun.
It's a fun facty.
All right, thank you.
I liked it.
Right around that ancient statue, there's also what's called the Underground Man. And it's his house.
Oh, the Underground Man.
You go in and this Underground Man gives you an Explorer kit. And this is a segment that we introduced in Mystery Dungeon, but it makes a lot of sense to just have it as a segment whenever we need it. Item Finder.
So many new segments in this gen.
Give everyone a little taste.
Item Finder, I love it.
Item Finder.
I love it.
Explorer kit. It allows you to go to the Sinnoh Underground whenever you're just like outdoors.
Yeah.
And the Sinnoh Underground is a series of caves. It's like 4 different quadrants.
Up until this point, we have seen these little vents throughout the region.
Yeah.
And it's been confusing on what they are, but apparently they're vents to the underground because you can just go underground anywhere in Sinnoh. And there's like a robust underground network of tunnels.
Wait, it's wild. It looks like an ant farm.
Yeah, alien ant farm. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that one. Are you okay, Annie? Yeah.
That was a good song.
It was pretty good.
Hell of a music video, too, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember correctly or incorrectly about the music video. Mm-hmm. But this Explorer kit, it gives you a sledgehammer and a pickaxe, and like you can like mine for minerals. I got a couple of like spheres.
Yeah.
And you can use them to trade.
I went down there. Well, first of all, you start to dig, and it's like, do you want to connect to internet connectivity and save your game? And it's like, I guess so. What am I getting into?
Yeah.
But apparently it's this whole like multiplayer scene.
There's like a capture the
flag, and like I just like.
Well, it's sort of irrelevant because we're playing.
I cannot wrap my head around this.
12 years after this came out.
Yeah.
But it probably was cool back in the day, but. It's like turning in Ash in Hoenn. Like, you need a shitload of spears to get any good items.
It's so confusing. And you're down there, and it's like there's a little mini map on your lower screen, which is like this complex maze, and there's little like sparkly things, and you try to go to the sparkly things, but more often than not, they're just traps. And it's like, what does that mean? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I guarantee you I'm never going into the underground again unless the game forces me to.
I might not either. I didn't love any of the items. It was like, it's all aesthetics for the most part.
Yeah.
You can unearth like, revives and like normal items, but I'm never going to spend enough time to do that.
Totally useless.
And I don't need fucking binoculars or a Drifloom doll.
Back at Windworks, they did promise you once you've driven Team Galactic out of the Windworks, they're like, maybe now the balloon Pokemons will return. It's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'll shoot them down.
I don't want the balloon Pokemon to return. Do you mean Drifloon? Because they're nightmarish, and I don't want that.
My Psyduck will shoot him down with his water gun. Not interested.
I'll shoot them down with a gun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Steve Human has a lot of guns.
Okay.
It's like a gun nut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really gotta steer him a little bit back toward the center. Maybe overcorrect.
Well, it's a constitutional right, Joshua.
In Sinnoh?
Hey, if only the outlaws have guns. If we outlaw guns, Joshua, only the outlaws will have guns.
Jesus.
And how do you feel about that?
Where'd you pick that up on like a grandma's Facebook group?
Parlor.
Yeah.
Eterna Gym is where we left off. Gardenia, the grass type trainer.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool gym. You walk in, there's like a big centerpiece, like a garden, like a little planter, and it's got like a clock
with like flowers all around it.
And every time you beat one of Gardenia's cronies, the clock hands like move so that you can access another crony until you eventually face off with Gardenia herself.
Yeah, it's cool. It was redesigned for Platinum, apparently.
Oh, really?
In Diamond and Pearl, it just looks like a forest.
It's cool. It's a cool mechanic.
So it's way better in Platinum.
Gardenia, Joshua. Ooh, doggy did she give me trouble. She's only got 3 Pokemon.
Tell me about it. Because I had no trouble at all.
I don't even remember what her Pokemon was.
Yeah.
They were so, like, trivial. Or they should have been.
She's got a Turtwig, level 20. Cherum, level 20,
yep.
And a Roserade, level 22.
I went in hot and heavy with Graveler in the top slot.
Right, your flawed strategy, the matchup mayhem.
Yeah, here's what I managed to do with Graveler, which did benefit me in the end. Throw down a Stealth Rock.
Oh, yeah, you did do that. Okay.
And then she one-hitted it and killed it. Yeah. And then I threw in Machop.
Ouch.
Because Machop was also pretty well leveled. But
not very effective.
Turns out Machop is also weak to whatever.
Well, it's just not very effective. You can't like karate chop a plant.
Sure, sure. It one-hitted my Machop as well.
Ouch. Yeah.
Turtwig did.
Is it Turtwig?
So then I realized I was at odds. So I threw in Kadabra, who I assumed would not be great against it, and it wasn't one-hitted.
Ouch.
So I was down to just a few Pokemon. Level 15 Piplup was not going to be useful for me.
No.
A water type Pokemon.
Ouch.
So that was chaff.
Yeah.
Just obliterated.
So how'd you get out of this?
I managed to get her Turtwig. I managed to get her whatever that fucking Pokemon is, the second one. And this is my
Cherum?
Cherrim is my runner-up for You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week because
What is it?
I just couldn't. It was like looking at a non-Euclidean object. I could not make heads or tails of what this was. It's like it doesn't have a face. It doesn't have any recognizable appendages. It's just like sort of a weird mass.
It's like a cocoon.
What is this thing? What is Cherrim?
But I think it's the final form of Cherubi.
It's so confusing.
That's it.
Oh, we battled. Why did there make it a Cherubi? Because we battled Cherubis.
Why doesn't it evolve into something else? It looks like it's the cocoon, and then it should turn into something else.
It's so confusing. I just couldn't. I was like, what is this?
It's got a sunshine form when it's sunny out that looks dumb.
Oh, well, I couldn't.
But it's got a face at least.
I could not figure out what Cherrim was.
Got 2 legs. Are you sure this thing's not?
I'm certain. Well, it doesn't have a fucking. It doesn't have a face or anything, Josh. How is it supposed to be a human?
Well, when you look at the illustration, it's got a little mouth way at the bottom.
Well, I'm not going to look at any illustrations of it, so.
It's not good anyway. Fuck it.
I got through Turtwig, I got through Cherrim, and then was facing off against Roserade, and golly, did Roserade give me trouble. It ended up getting down to Roserade v. Budew.
Yeah.
Kricketot got destroyed at some point in the process.
Of course.
And all I had left was Budew, who's not terribly effective. And Budew doesn't even have that many good moves. All it had was Mega Drain, which isn't effective against Roserade.
They're all
grass. It was taking slivers off of Roserade.
It's grass on grass.
So what I had to do, Josh,
was
a
true mashup mayhem here.
I had to spend many, many turns using growth
on
Budew to raise its special attack to the point that it would no longer do it. It was like, your special attack cannot go any higher. And every third turn, I'm healing with a super potion because it's whittling me down. It's a Roserade. And then I started dropping the Mega Drains. Because finally, Mega Drain, which is a special attack move, was strong enough to do a little bit of damage to Roserade.
Yeah.
It was 2 turns doing growths and then a super potion until the point where my special attack was maxed out. And then it was 2 turns doing Mega Drain until I had to do a super potion. And then eventually I finally beat Roserade.
Wow.
It was brutal.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
Getting through the Ring of Fire, which is what Monferno unleashed on them. Flame Wheel. 1-hit KO for fucking everyone.
I'm sure. Literally the exact opposite experience for the 2 of us this week.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I don't this is probably the only time that'll happen because it's the second gym. It's not like we had a lot of options,
Yeah, I think basically once you weather the first 2 gyms, in most of the games, you could pull off everything else.
Right. So that's a leg.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of debate around how we're going to do battles this season.
How are the polls?
We've run a couple of polls, and they've given us... we did a count.
Oh, my God. 50-50.
And the count...
What's this, the Senate?
The first poll came up in favor of random battles.
Yeah.
And then we decided to do a recount because it was too close to call. It was 52-48. That's well within the 5-point margin, so we did a recount.
Polls aren't close.
And apparently the recount, which still has a couple days left, is at 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50 right now.
So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens, but we've decided to battle because it is Gym 2. It is technically the quarter mark because there's only 8 gyms in this gen.
Yeah.
So we're going to battle. We've programmed our teams into Showdown. And that's going to be what happens next. We will check in if anything notable happens.
You know the teams. We told you. So
yep, top of the app. Go back and listen. But otherwise, we will see you at the end of the first battle.
Yeah.
And tell you who won. And then we'll proceed to the second. And if there's a need for a third battle, we'll do it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Burn that bridge when we get to it.
So we will see you in a moment, Bugcatchers. Quick battle. It was a quick one.
It was like this.
You made quick work of my team.
It's like a flap of Staravia's wings.
I felt
wing attack, more specifically.
Like I had a lot to offer at the very top of the battle. I threw in Graveler. He dropped Stealth Rock. He was getting into a rollout routine.
He one-hitted Kricketune.
2 of your Pokemon pretty quickly. Yeah. Kricketune went down, and then who's your Psyduck went down.
No, Psyduck came in and water gun fucking Graveler, and that was it.
Psyduck did go down pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
But then Silver,
Staravia
came in and swept my team, the entire team.
Yeah, it was Budew, One hit.
Budew went down in one hit.
Oh, you swapped Kadabra, but even Kadabra was a one hit from wing attack.
Yeah, I thought Kadabra could maybe get off a confusion.
Yeah.
But you one-hitted it.
Yeah.
Machop, one hit.
It's just the wings were flying.
And then
Kricketot,
obviously one hit.
A feast
which
for
just left me
Staravia.
with Piplup, the level 15, and one-hitted. So you swept me and you destroyed me. And Silver, the Pokemon, killed me. And this is going to be trouble. And
Brevander knew that wasn't an exquisite bird.
Let's get into the battle 2. I've got a prediction for how it's going to go.
Me too.
See you in about 2 minutes, bug catchers. Joshua,
little spicy.
You made slightly less quick work of me there. You were about to sweep me again, and then you decided to make things a little more interesting. I said, "Wait, I did something wrong. I have a strategy that I didn't deploy here,
right.
But I think I could deploy it effectively if you're willing to forfeit this battle and start over again." And you said, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
So we restarted the second battle before we could get to the end. And I did have a little bit of a spicy strategy, didn't I?
Yeah, it was pretty spicy.
Which was keeping my Graveler alive.
Yeah, because that's the tank.
We got down to our final Pokemon. You had 2 Pokemon left. I had 2 Pokemon left.
My Psyduck wasn't able to get the one hit on Graveler because you just swapped it out.
Yeah.
I did anticipate that, and I got I banked Confusion against Budew instead.
Budew, yeah.
But then Mega Drain made work of that.
So I whittled you down.
Yeah.
To 2 Pokemon, and I had 2 Pokemon. Mine were a little worse for the wear, but you brought in Staravia.
I was like, I'm going to have to just wing attack this thing, and that's not really going to work. And you had like 12% left.
You got a big hit off, but I still had just a tiny sliver of health. And with that sliver of health, I did my devastating blow, which is self-destruct.
Yeah, and I did not know that Graveler got self-destruct this early on.
Yep. So I blew up your Staravia.
Yeah.
And then it was down to
pile of feathers.
Not sexy Lopunny.
Then I only had Bunnery left, Lola Bunny.
And I only had Budew, who was only at like a 5th of health.
Yeah. So I just did Frustration, and Bunnery's quite fast, as you might imagine.
Hell of a match. Could have been closer, but man, that's Staravia. I'm gonna have to plan accordingly for that thing.
I'm starting to think that
zero that can deal with flying right now.
Staravia is pretty good. Yeah, you've got a severe weakness to flying right now.
And I have to deal with that in the coming episodes. I hope there's some talent on the upcoming routes.
Maybe get some new friends, some new buddies who aren't quite as susceptible to flying.
All my friends are afraid of birds.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I don't know why. It's a weird thing for a person to have so many friends who are afraid of birds, but I do. Steve Human does.
Yeah.
Joshua, that's the battles. You won.
Brevander, she's good at what she does. She knows how to raise them.
Yeah.
Raise them and knock them down.
Point nil to Steve Human.
What's that? What is this, Frasier? Is that French?
I think it's French. It's something they say at Eurovision a lot.
Okay. That's it.
We are on to next episode. We are on to next leg of the journey. I don't know what gym we're headed towards next, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting, and I'm sure you know.
Yes, we are heading to Hearthome City, and we will be facing off against Fantina. And that is Ghost type, which is interesting. And this is, and by the way, this is a difference with Platinum versus Diamond and Pearl. In Diamond and Pearl, you will be facing Crasher Wake, who is water type.
Sounds like a hacker name.
So we will be talking about Fantina and Hearthome.
Looking forward to it, Joshua. Thank you for joining me. Joshua, thank you for joining me, Bug Catchers. This has been Experience Share a Pokemon podcast, starring me, Stanky, and again, don't love the nickname.
It's your own fault.
AKA Tanner Greening, and
you
I'm joined,
come up with the nickname, so.
as always, by my co-host, Fielos, AKA Joshua Fielstad.
Yes.
Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. I know
rate it everywhere.
I say that every week, and I know I say this every week, but it really is incredibly important that you do that. It's like the only metric by which our podcast's success is measured.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at EXPSharePod as well.
Speaking of Twitter and Instagram, please do tweet and Instagram about the show, and if you do so in an organic way, I will name one of Steve Human's Pokemon after you, or I might. There's a lot of demand and very few Pokemon.
A lot of demand. the criteria is somewhat arbitrary, but also maybe based on the Pokemon and the vibe.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going forward, they will be named after bug catchers.
They will be named after bug catchers. I will reach out and ask you what your last name is, because I have to. It's a naming convention I've stuck with. It's all last names. I can also just you can just tell me a name. You can be like, my last name is Weedlord, and I'll name my Pokemon Mr. Weedlord.
Oh,
you know.
I feel like you're really opening a can of worms there. Wormadams there.
Yeah.
And speaking of bug catchers, check out the subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers. We post show notes there. We hang out. I think almost 500 or maybe 500 members now.
Wow.
Bustling.
That's almost the Donald levels.
Yeah.
A lot of tricky politics discussed this week.
Yeah. Stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there. It is the night before inauguration.
Jesus.
Hopefully everything goes smoothly, and by the time you're hearing this, we're living in a utopian society where everything is fine.
And we're still a democracy.
Yeah. Please, that's it. We're working on merch. We'll get it up as soon as it's ready.
Yes, we will announce that in the coming weeks.
That's it, Joshua.
That's it.
Goodbye.
All right. I'll smell you later.